it's always fun to catch up with our friend Marty Jelleme, the head coach of the Atlanta United Unified team. We get to preview 2026. Marty, what is up?
Hey, how you doing? Looking forward to it.
Question is more for you than it is for me. And as you see here, next to the boss, you're right here. There's the rolled up scarf because
I love it.
Well, because she had to reinforce the line that has to hold the drapes up. Because I had too many winter scarves up here, Marty, and the line started to sag. And so she had to reinforce the line with the curtains. And so she had to do like a double curtain rod back here. So not everything fell. And so she got real imaginative and has put you front and center here over my left shoulder.
I love it. Maybe we'll add a few more winter scarves by the end of the season this year.
Ooh, I dig that. That's pretty cool. I like that idea. We will obviously show them off as well as we can. When you look back at the 25 season, so we'll go backward before we come forward. When you look back at the 25 season, what sticks in your mind about the experience and the new frontiers and the new places and the players and all that kind of stuff that you got to experience with the unified team and what everybody got to experience? What sticks in your mind that you're carrying with you from 25?
Speed is one. Our team is super, super competitively fast compared to almost everybody else. And we haven't really utilized that in the past. So a little teaser for going forward, but we'll just leave that at that for now. Traveling and stuff like that's been just amazing. The first team's always great. They're so open to our players and things along that line. So it makes it so much better. And I think Atlanta does such a better job than a lot of the other clubs. New places to go, which is great. A lot of the kids hadn't been places that we were last year. So, and especially now, the Houston trip was just what a great week. I mean, 5 or 6 games, came back with a cup. The learning that went on at that week, because we were in a dorm by ourselves. I mean, I can't even tell you the experiences and the life skills that a lot of our players learned on that trip. And let me tell you, it was exhausting. By the end of the week, we for some reason, we got stuck with the morning game every day except the last one. So we were up at like 6 or 5:30, didn't even have breakfast any morning till the last day because we were always the first ones on the pitch. So what a great week. I mean, it was amazing.
I mean, when they knocked on your door for that tournament, and this was a tournament that had worldwide participation. I mean, this was like you're getting folks from Europe to be over and be a part of this, to be a part of the Genuine World Cup that happened last July. And I mean, it's like the Netherlands, it's Ajax, it's Tigres, it's Inter Milan. I mean, it's
Rangers, Newcastle.
I mean,
who else?
Crazy. Tarragona, Valencia, Benfica, Sporting Club.
Yeah, Australia was there. We had a team from Australia who was there. I mean, one of the coolest things was we're sitting there, and we hear it in the United States, but not as much when you get the chants going, right? And they're chanting back and forth at the stadiums, especially down in Mexico and things like that. The lunchrooms, you would walk in, and literally you would have 3 clubs in there, La Tigres, and I can't remember the other 2. And they're screaming at the top of their lungs, chanting. One would chant, then the next one would chant, the next one would chant. I mean, it was like being in a stadium at dinner time. It was just unbelievable. And to see the spirit and all that from some of those other clubs, it was just great. Great.
When you're in an environment like that, what's it like for you as someone who has been at the front of this movement with Atlanta United to see other unified teams from not just the North America, but around the world? When we were growing up, you'd go to summer camp and you'd have, time where you'd sit there and you spend time in the stereotypic cabin. You get up at 6:30, you're learning how to kayak and all those kinds of things. This kind of a summer camp, to me, seems incredibly invaluable because of what you learn about yourself as an athlete, as a student athlete, as a person, and even for the adults in the room. You get to learn about yourself, not just as a coach, but as an adult. This seems like one of those three-dimensional kind of learning experiences for everybody.
Oh, totally. And especially because MLS kind of has a different philosophy compared to most of the other groups around the country. Like, we primarily play unified.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that MLS looks at unified is the inclusion part going, we want to bring those high school and college kids in, get them exposed to our players, and be able to take that back out into society. And then when they go to school, they meet the kids, or they're at the mall, and all those interactions start happening. Most of the other world, when it comes to this, it's straight players. It's not unified. So their philosophy is, wait a minute, if you've got 20 kids, they should be 20 kids with disabilities no matter what. Mm-hmm. And so that was one of the things. It was definitely a tug between coaches, because like I particularly like the unified. I understand both, mm-hmm. but I like the unified because it's the exposure and growing the influence of sports and things like that in the community. Where if you don't have that unified part, I think you miss out on a lot of that, because it's just my opinion. Mm-hmm. But the rest of the world doesn't think that way for the most part when it comes to clubs. They want strictly players. So that was a big learning experience, and a learning experience as a team, because now our team had to play without partners, which took us at least two matches to get the hang of it, because now they've got to grind a little bit more. They're the ones getting, not that they're not grinding in the matches that we play, but they've got to totally make all their own actions, where now they can rely on the partners a little bit. So it was great. I mean, it was an interesting philosophy.
This is the question where we go, I guess, Unified 101. When it comes to playing with partners, if you would, for those that might just kind of know casually about Atlanta United Unified, and they know that matches happen, they might hang out after a match, a first team match, to watch a unified match. What are some of the differences and the nuances that are there when it comes to the unified matches that folks will get to see?
So the way that we play, and it's not the way that all the MLS teams play, is our unified partners, which are players without disabilities versus our players with disabilities, mm-hmm. are there to facilitate the game. They are not there to score. They are there to get the ball, do the pass, and then have our other players move the ball forward, do the scoring and all that. Our partners don't shoot for the most part until another team shoots on us and scores. Mm-hmm. Our partners are like, we want our players to be the focus. We want them to have all the glory, and they'll feed them the whole time. Okay. So that is a little bit of a difference compared to our team versus other clubs. But that's kind of what it is.
And what we have seen over time, over the last couple of years, where it used to be end to end, it used to be east-west. Now it is north and south. You're going for most of the distance of a regulation UEFA MLS soccer pitch. You're getting these kind of evolutions over time. What has it been like for you and the staff to see the game evolve to where it is now, where you're going almost, end to end, instead of just doing it like a couple of years ago, like the matchup at Red Bulls, where it was side to side, and you're now going
side to side, exactly. And so, what a change!
Yeah,
I mean, it's watching the progression of the players. Now we're even looking at like long balls and bringing it down the middle, where before, if you're playing quarter pitch or half pitch, there's not really an offsides. They don't have to know that rule. Your long balls and your across the fields to switch sides isn't as prevalent because the pitch is so much smaller. Now that we're on this huge pitch, it looks just like your regular soccer game, and we play it that way. A lot of the teams also park the bench, as we call it, on us now. Mm-hmm. They put all their partners in the back, and now we got to figure out how are we going to break that down. We've added some speed to the team, so I think you're going to see we're going to start doing a few more long balls to kind of spread it out. And then if we can do that, then we can drive down the middle and also maybe send some of our partners to the side to do some crosses. So we've got some things to look at, which is great. It's much more strategy than if you're on a half a pitch, because on a half a pitch, you can't do a lot of those plays. So it's been great. And watching the other teams do it too, because there's a number of teams just like us who have started at like a 5v5 or a 7v7 and have now progressed to the 11-11 full pitch. We love the full pitch when we can. A couple of the teams pull it into the 18s, but then it's still the full width. So it's, as close as it can get.
What was recruiting season like for you with tryouts and everything? How many folks turned up, and what was it like to assemble the 26 squad this year?
Well, the interesting part was we actually had to cancel it because it was on, what was it, November last year. Remember that day that it was like, what was it, like 10 degrees or something?
Yes.
That was tryout day outside, starting at 6:30 at night. So to start with it, we had to change it. So then and then of course the next day we did it as close as we could. Was still another super cold night, but we were able to make it work. It's pretty exciting to see kids that are trying out from places that I don't know. Yeah. Which is wonderful. That means the word's getting out about the program and about Unified, not just through the same, I'll call it not feeder, but the same groups that already know about it. So right. we had a couple partners and a couple players trying out from teams that we have never seen before, which was great. So that was an awesome, and some of them made the team. So we have a change of about 4 players this year and a little bit of a larger squad.
So how big is the squad this year compared to years previous?
22 versus 20. Okay. So we added 1 extra player and 1 extra partner.
Okay. It's been fun to see the team evolve over time, to see the game evolve over time. When it comes to, you mentioned parking the bench. I mean, when you are like the number 1 team, you're like Top Gun, man, when it comes to Major League Soccer. And
I don't know about that, but I'll take the compliment.
I mean, everybody. I mean, do you remember when we were growing up? And I think it's safe to say that you and I are contemporaries, although I'm probably about 108 years old.
I'm about 106, so don't worry about it.
So do you remember the old commercial when we were growing up where Robert Conrad had the battery on his shoulder? I dare you to knock it off.
Oh yes.
So that's it's like when you're number 1, everybody's gunning for you, and they're trying to take that battery and knock it off your shoulder. When you're trying to coach and teach and have the Unified players enjoy. Now they're going up against bench parking, and it's another aspect of the game I don't think they necessarily anticipated, but because of success that Atlanta United has now with reputation and everything, you're now getting people parking benches on you. I mean, that's like rare air, man. What's that like to handle?
The first time they did it, we didn't know. As coaches too, we were really surprised, and we're like, oh my God, what are we going to do? How are we going to beat this? And then luckily, our partners, who are great stewards of the game, they come to us and say, hey, we need to try this. And we will always listen to them. If they have an idea, they're on the pitch. They know it just as well as we do. We're watching it from the sidelines. They're in it. We will take their advice and always at least give it a try. But yeah, Nashville parked the bus in a big way last year. It was, I'm like, what are we going to do? We finally got a couple of goals, but it took us all match until we broke it. So we're actually working on down the middle, down the sides, and long. We don't have a lot of time this year because we only have like 5 practices already.
Oh, wow.
Because, we have a match, early May. Mm-hmm. And we started late because World Cup and games and things like that. So yeah, we're going to be under the gun our first match, let me tell you, against LA.
Yeah, and it's 4 matches this year. It is the matchup at home against LA. Then you go on the road to take on Philly and Miami. Now, are you going to be in the new stadium in Miami? Do you know that yet?
I don't know. It's funny. I go to Miami for my other job a fair amount. I looked at the stadium a month before it's open, and I'm like, I don't know how they're going to make it. So I'm hoping that it's open. I'm assuming it is. I hadn't heard anything, but I'm telling you that that GC had to be working 24/7 the last month
And
before the season opened.
yeah,
I mean, it
because
had to be just insane.
and
Um,
they're rolling that thing out now, and so it's going to be fun. So let's say that we hope you get to be in the new stadium,
I
and
would think so. I mean, Miami's pretty good. When we played them before, I'm trying to think, we haven't played them there though. We've only played them here.
Mhm.
But I would imagine that we'll be in the stadium. I'd be surprised if we're not, but we don't know for sure. Actually, Lena was talking to us yesterday. She hasn't heard exactly how all that's working out, but we're hoping.
Okay, and then you go from those two. Then you finish up at home against Chicago. I think the week before Halloween,
Yes,
and
very late this year. Very
so
late.
it is. So it's May 9th at home against LAG. Then you have August 1st in Philly, September 5th in Miami, and then the week before Halloween against Chicago. I mean, you only 5 practices before you have to play LAG at the Mercedes Benz, huh?
Yeah, it was just the way it worked out this year with all the clubs because the training grounds gets used by other clubs. So like the U.S. men's team was up there practicing and all that kind of stuff. So it kind of kept us out a little bit, but we'll survive. We'll probably we were talking about it last night, adding a couple practices in, get a couple extra, and I've given them some running. So they've got some homework to do in between practices, little fitness work. So
2 weeks ago it was signing day, and now you're like 5 weeks away from your season opener here.
super close. I don't think we've ever had one this close.
And it's really cool to see how the 17s have embraced the unified team as well, because I mean the crowds for the home matches over the last couple of years, it's been great to see thousands of folks stay from the first team match, come over and be behind the benches and be a part of the cheering section for the unified games. I just think that that's a really cool aspect of this too. The 17s stay and they root you on because you're Atlanta United, man. We're staying and we're watching.
They are so loud. I mean, I don't think you go to any other stadium, they don't have the 17 stay like we do here. There's just the supporters are amazing here. And you're right. And I think we probably have the biggest crowds when we play compared to other stadiums. I can't think of any other one that's had as many. What about you?
No, I honestly, from all the times that we've either gone or been calling the games remotely or what have you, no, it literally is like the largest crowds we've seen have been the ones at Mercedes Benz for your
Yeah.
for your squad, and it's been really cool to see as a great byproduct of all of this, embracing the unified team as a part of the larger umbrella. If you're Atlanta United, you're Five Stripes, we're with you, and we're going to come and root for the whole thing. So.
I mean, and also we're the only ones who put the games on live, which is
Yeah,
just another great aspect that the Atlanta live streams the game so everybody can see it. I think we're the only ones who do it. I mean, it's a great ad. It keeps everybody interested. And the other part is the only negative part is everybody can watch our tapes from all the years past and see what we do.
I was going to ask, are you going to get any tape on LAG before they come over on May the 9th?
Nobody, we're the only ones. Nobody else does any of that I know of. As far as I know, we're the only club that puts their games on live for everyone to watch. So,
and it is a hot ticket. Thank you for coming in. I know that we're trying to grab you in between your real gig and everything for Atlanta United Unified. First match about 6 weeks away. LAG coming to town on May the 9th. The first team, and then after it's going to be the Unified Marty. It's always great to see you. And we can't wait for the season to start and for the big dogs when it comes to MLS Unified to take another great season, more great strides. Thanks for dropping by as you always do, my friend. Don't be a stranger.
thank you. Don't be a stranger. Come watch the game. Look
You
at
know
the
it.
athlete. The one's earning it, not me. I'm just there like guiding them along.
Yeah, and I'm the one that sticks the microphone in your face after like timeouts and everything, and you're sitting there going, "Oh God, here comes Nelson. What's he going to ask now?" But
Never bad. It's always awesome.
always good to see you, my friend. We'll see you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
There goes Marty Jelleme, the head coach of the Unified team. That's always fun because look, the Atlanta United Unified team, there's a zero. in that WLNT column, one of those columns got a 0 to it, and that's why I meant the comment about the battery and everybody trying to knock it off. Because I mean, right now you're talking about a team that losing is not a part of the glossary, and it's fun to see. Aside from the fact that they're one of the top teams in unified in Major League Soccer, and the top teams in unified, that you get to go to Genuine World Cup and you get to challenge yourself against the world when it comes to the sport. That you're having the successes you are on the field, yes, but at the same time that you're an integral part of the Atlanta United fabric. That to me is just as cool in all of this, is that they are, it's Atlanta United first team, second team, academy, unified, all in a row. You're a part of it. You've got Atlanta United on the front. You're a part of it. And Abby, to your point about the 17s and being there to root on Atlanta United's unified squad. First off, for me to be on the sidelines, it's been a hoot. It has been an absolute hoot to see the first team players, with Brad Gazan being a part of it. You had Jay Fortune and Matt Edwards was there. Will Riley, I think, was there when we were doing games. But to see the first team players come out, be there as absolute cheerleaders for the whole thing, and see how they're just as supportive, and they're there acting as coaches and cheerleaders the entire time. But yeah, so 17s, you guys are top notch, supporting the unified team as much as you are. And yeah, Marty makes a point. Everybody else that they're going up against, they don't have tape. For Atlanta United's unified team, they got tape. So everybody is learning about Atlanta United's unified. And the fact that Marty seems to have added speed this year, and it looks like they might be bombing it long at times down the wings. So you're going to have speed on turf. It might be the fastest show on turf this season with Atlanta United's unified team. That's always fun to catch up with Marty and see what's going on. But yeah, May the 9th is the first unified match. So May the 9th is the first unified match of the season. They expanded the roster by 2. And so it's May the 9th at home against LAG, Saturday, August 1st in Philly, Saturday, September 5th in Miami at the new stadium. And then wrapping up the season, it is October 24th at home against Chicago. So those are your 4 matchups this season for Atlanta United Unified, and signing day back on March the 16th. So articles up from our friend Adam Jasper over at atlutd.com.